What's happening, guys and girls? Acrinator here, and welcome to another episode of World of Warcraft Dungeon Overview. Today we'll be finishing up the Tempest Keep dungeon hub by going through the Arcatraz. I'll be running through it with my hunter, you see here. So with that being said, let's dive straight into it. As you hopefully remember by this point, Tempest Keep is a former Naru fortress that was originally the base of operations for the Beings of Light in Outland. When they abandoned it to take up refuge in a more strategic location on the Broken Planet, Kael'thas Sunstrider of the Sin'dorei immediately took up the opportunity to hijack the keep. He's since used the Flying Fortress to find new and dangerous ways to potentially cure his people of their insatiable hunger for magic. Ever since the Sunwell was destroyed during the Third War, his people have been suffering, and the prince has grown desperate. So desperate that him and his few followers in Outland have sided with Kil'jaeden of the Burning Legion. The Demon Lord has promised unbridled power and has caused the Elven Prince to become more reckless with his research. It's come to question whether or not he even cares for the plight of his people anymore, or if Kael is only looking out for himself now. Within the Arcatraz wing of Tempest Keep, some of the worst prisoners the Naru came across in their travels throughout the universe were held. Of course, the Blood Elves try to utilize the prison for similar purposes, but some of the guards stationed there have become corrupted by the various forces within. Of all the wings within the fortress, the Arcatraz is easily the least stable, and the largest threat to the outside world. The Arcatraz is a level 67 to 70 dungeon with a level 70 heroic mode located in the eastern portion of Netherstorm. Just like all the other instances in Tempest Keep, you can't reach this dungeon without flying. If you do have flying, you'll find this particular entrance in the top left platform of the 4. Once you know where you're going, there's not much else to it. Zarek is a creature of the Void, and one of a select few that can operate without constant orders from the Void Lords. It's uncertain exactly where this being stands in the hierarchy within the Void, but one thing is certain, it's standing in our way and wants us dead. Zarek will cast Void Zone, creating a small area on the ground that will damage anyone standing within it. It'll also cast Seed of Corruption, which damages all players nearby the affected. Whoever is hit by this should run away from the rest of the group until the spell wears off. Arcatraz is a high-ranking Wrathguard within the Burning Legion, so much so that he's considered one of the top commanders among his kind. He has openly expressed his distaste for his current situation, as well as his disgust for his cellmate, despite the fact that they both serve the Burning Legion. Arcatraz will knock all players back periodically, rush to one randomly, and leave a trail of fellfire in his wake. To that end, don't stand in the fire. Other than that, it's a pretty simple fight. Delia is a Ashavara of the Burning Legion that is considered one of the most aggressive of her kind. She has directed her ire at the prison guards and her cellmate Arcatraz. Delia will periodically cast Whirlwind, where you'll want to step back until she's done casting. Also, the healer should look out for any players affected by the Gift of the Doomsayer. This is a spell that heals the boss whenever the target is healed. Skyress is a Kiraji who was imprisoned by the Naru as a result of his mind manipulation abilities. They had thought that his voice had been silenced after being placed in a stasis cell, a mistake the Blood Elves would make as well. The warden appointed by Kael'thas slowly fell to the corrupting whispers of the Harbinger until he became a complete slave. To start this encounter, you'll need to take out the warden Melikar first. Once he's down, Skyress will appear. Throughout the first phase of the fight with the warden, he'll open up various prison cells. The first cell contains smaller trash mobs that can just be AoE'd down for the most part. The second cell contains none other than Millhouse Manastorm. The third cell contains a minion of either Ragnaros or Alakir, and the fourth holds minions of Deathwing. Once the first 4 cells are unlocked, that's when Skyress will make his grand entrance. He'll finish off Melikar and start the fight with you. Skyress has many different abilities, most of which are actually pretty annoying to deal with. The first major one is that he casts Fear, meaning that you should make sure to clear out trash mobs before starting the encounter. Skyress can also take control of a random player for a few seconds, so make sure not to kill them before the time is up. Finally, at 66 and 33% health, Skyress will summon mirror images of himself to attack the players. Honestly, the best way to deal with this boss is to just burn him down as quickly as possible. The less time he's allowed to live, the less shit you're gonna have to put up with. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, maybe even subscribe. Links for my social media and whatnot are in the description below. And as for the comment question, how do you think Millhouse got locked up in the Arcatraz? He doesn't seem quite as dangerous as any of the other inmates, so I can't imagine why the Naru would care about someone like him. Anyways, that's all the time we've got for today, so until next time, don't die.